Hi everyone, welcome back. Today on my channel we're going to be making a pumpkin bread. It's a pumpkin bread recipe in the bread machine with a cinnamon sugar crunch top. So stay tuned for that recipe, and as always I'll have it linked in the description box below. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Debbie, and I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. And whether you're a new subscriber, old subscriber, hit that thumbs up. That helps my channel to grow. And leave me a comment. I love hearing from all of you. And let's get into making our pumpkin bread with the cinnamon sugar crunch top. Okay, so the first thing we're going to add to the pan is some pumpkin puree. And it is not the pumpkin pie, it's just like the pumpkin. We're just going to add a cup of that. So it won't take the whole can. So we'll have to think of another recipe to make with pumpkin, won't we? I have made pumpkin bread before on my channel. It was a little bit different recipe. And this one's going to have, like I said, the cinnamon sugar crunchy top. So let's get this in here. Alrighty. Then the next ingredient we're going to be putting in is some oil, and I'm just using vegetable oil. We're going to use 1/4 cup. Dump that right in the pan. That's going to make our bread moist. And then to that, we're going to be adding 1 egg. And hopefully no shells. I usually break mine over a bowl, but I did not do that. 1/2 of a cup of sugar. We're going to be adding some yummy vanilla. That's going to be about 1/2 teaspoon, because I'm also going to be adding a vanilla bean. So let's do 1/2 teaspoon. And we might overflow a touch. You know how that goes. That's okay. So I'm going to get my vanilla bean opened up here. I keep them in this jar, this old mason jar. Now, I was just keeping them directly in here, and depending on the brand of your beans and how much you paid for them, how good they are, they dried out in there, so that's not good. So I'm now keeping. I bought a different brand, and I'm keeping them in a baggie, and then I'm putting them in there. So this is an A+ grade vanilla bean, and I got it off of Amazon. And I can try to link this in the description box if you're interested in these. They're not the cheapest. They're not the most expensive either. So let me pull my cutting board here. Just going to split this bean down, hopefully not split my finger open. And then we're going to get the good stuff inside of it out. This one is a tiny one. The other ones are a little bit bigger than this. You just got to pull it back where you've split it. I'm sure you all know how to do this. And then you see all that goodness inside. That's what you want to scrape out. Very pointy knife to do it. Look at all that goodness. Those are the beans, that little flecks of beans that, oh, they're going to make such a good flavor for the bread. And I'm going to do the other side, and then we will go on with our bread. So I think I've got most of it out. And we're going to pick that up and put that in our pan. Okay. Get my board out of the way. Now we're going to be putting in our baking powder, which is a half a teaspoon. Go. A half a teaspoon. This is not a recipe that uses yeast. We're using the baking powder and baking soda instead. We're going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Teeny tiny amount. And I have this old, I don't know where I have it, and I just have this. I don't have any more of the plastic white, but I had this at one time, and I'm glad I kept it. But you don't very rarely see 1/8 of a teaspoons on your set of measuring spoons. So there's 1/8. And then I'm going to be using just all-purpose flour. It's 3/4 cup. So the cup I keep in here is 1/4, so we're going to just use that. There's 1/4. And then we'll do this half. Gonna level that off a little bit. So there's our 3/4 cup. Like I said, I've not made this recipe, so this is a new recipe, so we'll see how it turns out. Teaspoon of pumpkin spice, pumpkin pie spice, and you can make your own pumpkin pie spice. That way you can get it to your liking, because some pumpkin pie spices are very heavy on like the clove, which I don't like a lot of clove in mine. Or maybe they're very heavy on the nutmeg or the ginger, and then you can tweak those and get them to where you like them. And the last ingredient we're going to add is 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I hear my iRobot over there starting up. Going to do some sweeping for me. We're going to get this into bake. Let me pull over my bread machine so you can see what I'm doing. Move you over there. And we're going to pop it in. I think this only makes like a 1.5 pound loaf. Now for this, we're going to use the cake setting. So my cake setting is 11, and it's 1 hour and 52 minutes. And there we're starting. Now for the topping, I'm going to be using, I'm going to shove that out of the way a little bit. Bring you back over here. So for the topping, we're going to be using 2 tablespoons of sugar. So let's get this ready. There's 1 and 2. It's just very easy. Cinnamon and sugar. And then we're going to be putting in our cinnamon, which is about 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, we're just going to stir that up. Now, when we add this, we're going to wait till our machine is completely done mixing our ingredients and it's just ready to bake. And then I will come back and I will put it on the top of our bread so that it stays on the top and not incorporates into the mix. And I'll show you that process when we get to that step. So we'll just let the bread go and I'll be back to show you how to put the topping on. Okay, it's done mixing. So we're going to put on our topping. I'm just going to sprinkle this carefully over the top. You do not want this to get inside your heating elements. So it's very tricky. Okay. And then after you do that, just gently swirl a little bit and then we'll continue baking. Now, one thing that I did forget to do was grease the inside of my pan. So, I'm not sure if it's gonna come out that easy, but we will see. Oh my, look at her cook. And she is smelling delicious. Okay, we are ready. Fingers crossed we can get the bread out because I forgot to grease my pan, but there it is. It's just definitely a 1 pound, 1.5 pound loaf. So I've got a plastic knife because I don't want to, it doesn't seem like it's sticking to the edges. I don't think it is. Okay, it's going to be a little crumbly. Oh yeah, it came out good. Oh, look at that little thing. Look at it. I don't even know if that's a pound. That's cute. Okay, we're gonna let that cool and then we'll have a taste of it. It smells delicious, but look at that little thing. So my advice is if you want a little bit more, you better double the recipe. But let's give it a taste after it cools a bit. Okay, so we're still letting it cool, but I can't get over how tiny it is. I've never had one this tiny. So I do have another pumpkin bread recipe on my channel. It turned out bigger than this. So, and it was good too. So if you want to take that recipe and then just add the little bit of the cinnamon and sugar on the top after it quits mixing, then you can get this effect. So, but I'm anxious to try it. Great things come in small packages, right? So we'll see. Okay, let's try our sweet little bread. And I like the little crusty part, so I'm just gonna, when I cut it off, I'm gonna eat this end. It's got my name on it. Oh, it's very moist inside. It's still a little warm. Smells really good. Well, I'm not sure. The flavor is delicious. I'm not sure if it's completely cooked. I think it is, but I don't know. It's not, it's just very soft inside. Like it's almost like a doughy dinner roll. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a very good flavor. And I like the crunchy cinnamon sugar on top. So, I'm not sure about this recipe. I'm not totally sure on it. So, what I would tell you is go back to my playlist and look up the pumpkin bread that I did on there last fall and use that recipe and then do the cinnamon sugar topping. After it's mixed, you put it on because this is really good. This is a really good step right here. So that's a winner, that part. But you can see the size of this loaf, just something, I'm not sure about the recipe. So I do have it down in the description box. This recipe, you can try it out if you want. Like I said, it tastes really good, but I would definitely I would try my other recipe first. So you decide, let me know if you did this recipe and how yours turned out. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.